Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bible show. Today I'm going to be talking about something not necessarily cutting edge, but I mean to others, actually to others might be cutting edge. To me it's sort of something I just haven't shared yet. So today I'm going to be talking about what is pain maxing. And that sounded really cringe, but I think that's what people say nowadays. I think we're in a maxing culture. So just going along with the times. And I guess the preface to this to explain this. We've established a lot of things before. We talked about a lot of things on this channel. If anyone sort of remembers, anyone has sort of just the fundamentals straight on sort of human gender dynamics. It's very biblical to just how men and women were created, sort of the roles that we have as people, and how sort of human attraction works. And we have Genesis chapter 1 talking about this, how a woman's desire should be towards her husband and she will suffer pain in childbearing, but that's completely off topic. And I'm not sure if her desire is due to her being physically inferior to her husband or to the man, but yeah, and just First, Second Corinthians, men love your wives like your own body, and women give reverence to your husband. So we have love and respect in there, and we sort of have that equation that goes back and forth. And just some more tidbits I've been thinking about recently, and some things I'm not able to express because of some connections I sort of put together. I think all women, not I think, all women are born with game, if that's one way to put it. They understand that's very important for a woman to be loved. They understand the looks are super important, but I think all women know this, and I think few men are aware of this, that not all men understand what sort of makes a man attractive, and that is respect, like how respected a man is, and not just what society thinks is a respectful man. So sort of what makes a man fully in his essence as a masculine, very hyper masculine man. And by just knowing sort of the that men as a guy that you need to be respected as a man, that sort of makes you an equal to a woman. So where I'm trying to go with this, like before, like how women think, like when they walk in the street and they see a bunch of guys, I'm pretty sure they view them as sort of inferiors in a way, because a lot of guys lack understanding that just the biggest key to attraction is just understanding the fact, having that a belief or mindset in your head that it's all about, well, that's all about, but the key factor for attraction for men is to be respected. That's the number one key premise. And once you understand that, you sort of are viewed as an equal by women, and this changes all your interactions. I think, like as a guy, have you ever been to just any like social outing, with a girl guy social outing, um, you notice very quickly that like like who's more comfortable around this person, which women are sort of more pushy with this these group of guys, and how women are less pushy with this certain person, and sort of just what's the difference, like why does this girl treat this guy differently than this other guy? I think some people come to the conclusion that it's looks, some people come to the conclusion it's money. Many times that's the case because not a lot of guys know respect, so usually it comes down to other factors. But when sort of guys get that sort of their footing down and sort of understand the truth about attraction for a man, that really it's really gonna like change all your social interactions with the woman, because then she's finally gonna treat you as an equal, and she's definitely gonna treat you with a lot more reverence. Like it's gonna be quite noticeable, quite noticeable. And yeah, it's an interesting tidbit I had, that like most women see men as inferior, just inferior to them, just plain due to the fact, well, inferior to the degree as in like she knows something that he doesn't, not sort of maybe not financially wise, money wise, status wise, or physically wise, just she knows something about human nature that he doesn't, which is it's very interesting how most of the world operates like that. And so back to the main topic of Painmaxxing. This is something that I sort of discovered back in college. Um, this was like maybe 2022, 2021. This was like going through like a difficult time um, in terms of uh, going through like just the pain of messing up with the woman, and I'm not that kind of messing up, just like being an idiot kind of messing up, and I noticed well, ever since that time, um, I wasn't like moping and moaning. It was just like sort of became a part of me, just that experience. I noticed that after that experience, like after that, like ever since that experience, I always like immediately after, I already knew about sort of human attraction and human nature, just from um, looking into human nature, all the books on all the great resources on the game, and I just noticed that I was attracting like a lot more attention ever since going through that experience, and that really that was a big turning point in my life. I just realized how much leverage that people's pain and trauma can have, and how much it can really change who you are as a person. And ever since then, like every time I went through like a difficult experience, um, I would always attract more and more and more attention. And I realized this is a really insane and underutilized factor in terms of building yourself as a man, making yourself a more respectable person. I think pain tolerance, which is essentially not essentially pain maxing, but pain tolerance, or how much you can tolerate, is a key factor in being respected as a man. The more pain and struggles you go through, and the ability for you to come out of it, to get back up, it's gonna make you a lot stronger, your soul and character, not necessarily your character, but your soul a lot stronger. And it's gonna reflect in who you are as a person. It's gonna reflect in how you look, and it's gonna make you a lot more respectable as a man, therefore garnering a lot more attraction as a man. And Painmaxxing is just utilizing pain, or just accepting and embracing pain as a man. As a woman, you don't really want to embrace pain. I think you we can talk about that later, because I haven't really gotten to anything too practical. But as a man, embracing and accepting pain, and even what Painmaxxing is like welcoming pain. And it sounds kind of crazy. Well, some guys, I think with gym culture, like welcoming pain, it sounds rather normal. But outside of gym culture, like welcoming pain, like allowing trauma to happen, welcoming trauma. Some people might call it trauma. Every person considers this whatever event. Um, every person judges trauma differently, and but just welcoming trauma into your life and looking for ways to sort of invite trauma into your life, to sort of pain max, to grow stronger as a man. And not to the point of idolatry where you're hurting others, but just enough to keep yourself sharp. And yeah, this is definitely one of the key aspects of sort of becoming hyper masculine. So once you know that being respected as a man makes you attractive, that's what makes you attractive. Now you sort of know more of the different vectors of respectability that you can manipulate and keep manipulating, because pain is always going to be there in your life and be there to exploit and utilize for your own advantage. But there are limits. I think there are a point of diminishing returns. I think eventually, then I guess you should reach a very satisfactory level, and maybe there's something new to discover after that. But I guess I'll have to find out about that, as well as maybe others have figured something out before me or after me. So we just listed one aspect of pain maxing. So heartbreak. All right, so now we're getting into the practical stuff. So heartbreak. So heartbreak is definitely one of the key. It's definitely key factors that bring a lot of pain in men's lives. And in terms of pain maxing, usually heartbreak comes naturally to men when you sort of pursue, especially when you pursue a girl that you like for the very first time. You're definitely you're definitely gonna make a fool of yourself, or not play everything 100% perfectly or smooth that you like, and just sometimes I know I'm not gonna say that all guys fail. I would say a good amount of guys do well, but if you're really struggling in the beginning, I think it's gonna deal you a very like a heartbreak, you know. And I think that's usually a source of pain that a good amount of guys experience. But after that, I think guys maybe try something easier. Or when I say that, given the experience that they have, maybe they tread more cautiously into like a relationship if we're still going on heartbreak. Maybe they tread more cautiously, start as friends first, go for a less painful route or something like that. But I think just the pain max, or just for the sake of pain maxing, for increasing our respectability as a man, we want to maintain the heartbreak, and we want to allow ourselves to keep inviting it in our lives. And of course, we have beginners, just a beginner's experience that should always usually invite heartbreak. Um, always speaking to those beautiful ladies. Actually, that's nuanced, but speaking to people that you really care about. If you really like care or love someone, like if someone really says no to you, or just rejects, cheats, lies, or does something, it gives you some negative results, it's really gonna break your heart. So I guess for a guy, like chase, like talk to girls that you really care about, have friends that like what people see, sort of have a friend crush on, have friends that you really resonate with, that you really connect with, like destiny bonds, just people that you know you sort of care about, like they really satisfy you as friends. And just sometimes like sometimes things go wrong with friends, it happens. I think that's another form of heartbreak. That's another form of pain maxing. And with pain maxing in mind, it sounds like you sort of want to screw up your relationships with people. And to a degree, that it does make sense for pain maxing, but it'll naturally happen just with the lack of wisdom as we're in our early years of developing wisdom. And it's just gonna bring a lot of heartbreak in your life, but it's gonna make you a lot stronger as a person. And this is a really easy way to pay max just heartbreak. It's should be easy, but eventually it gets to a point of diminishing returns where you become just very unfazed by just heartbreak, and maybe eventually you become the heartbreaker after a couple of times, and after you sharpen up your tool set. So that's pretty cool. Okay, another thing for pain maxing is pain and a sort of endurance. I'll call this not. What is a good way to put this? Allowing tragedy, accepting tragedy. I think a lot, but like this sounds maybe deeper than it seems to me, but I think a lot of people, like I mentioned this before, like when people like maybe someone talks behind their back, or maybe someone complains about them. I think a lot of people take it too much to heart. And what I mean when I say too much to heart is that they complain sort of the pain away. Like they might like try to get even with that person or treat them poorly back. But I think for accepting that pain and sort of allowing it to happen, like so I think some people try to fit in like too much, and for the purposes of not being gossiped about, not just not being like the the nail that's sticking out. A lot of people, and throw myself out there. I used to be that type of person too, but I didn't even do a good job at it because people still talked about me back in school. So, but to agree, I think I did get on myself a lot of. I did avoid some stuff by just having my mindset, but it's sort of a cowardly mindset to try to like reduce who you are as a person, like even especially as a missionary, reduce your reach of the gospel because you're scared of people talking about you, and just accepting tragedy, accepting like bad things happening to you, like people saying like very nasty things to you, and just like laughing at you, mocking you, just accepting it and allowing it to happen, and not sort of taking that pain away, not justifying it in some sort of whimsical manner, like this is karma because I didn't hold the door open for that person, or this is that's because the other person is jealous. It's not always the case. Sometimes there's just the nail that's sticking out. There's many reasons why, and you can use the cognitive origin of discovery to really find out why. Um, but just accepting tragedy, not complaining pain away, which a lot of people do. Like devil's eye users, hybrid users, really allowing the pain to come to your life. Another thing aspect we have for pain maxing is physical pain. Like there's some guy, there's like I know guys out there are scared of dogs. Guys really scared to get in a fight. Scared of like like getting hit. Scared of losing losing their life, and that sounds kind of weird to say, but just having like a healthy sense of reality that no, actually I think people are thinking right now that probably if you're scared of losing life, you have a more healthy sense of reality than someone who is not scared of losing life. But I think some people are unrealistic with sort of the results of certain consequence, like boxing. I don't think you're gonna lose your life from boxing. Um, like physical pain, like getting beat up or like getting in some sort of altercation or just doing something very uncomfortable. I don't think it's gonna take away much from your life. And I think a good amount of guys just avoid like physical pain. And so definitely for Painmaxxing, I think physical pain is something to invite and allow into your life. I think there's so many aspects for physical pain, and it doesn't have to be too out of the ordinary. It could be, excuse me, like sleeping on the floor, maybe like walking with I haven't this is just the this is a random example, like walking with a stone in your shoe, just pushing yourself to like a level of discomfort that's gonna garner you some pain. I think maybe fasting a little bit, that's a little painful. I think that can really build your tolerance as a person. Um, I think hot showers are a lot more painful than cold showers. That can build your that can help you pain max. I think there's like a lot of things, painful things that people avoid, like being too hot, like using the AC in the car. I think it's definitely more satisfying to have the AC on, but for Painmaxxing, I think, of course, for the sake, I think for the definitely for the sake of Painmaxxing, turn the AC off. Definitely turn the AC off. Then there's just so many aspects of pain, physical pain, people naturally avoid, and just utilizing aspects of physical pain and allowing yourself to endure that pain. Like maybe sleeping without the AC. That's an example. Can help you pain max and really just make you a lot stronger as a person. I think there's a lot of physical pain is more of smaller steps, more of smaller improvements compared to like heartbreak or soul pain. That's a lot tougher, I think. But physical pain, I think, is definitely tough. Like also just plus sleeping without the AC on, and I think people can get the gist of what I'm trying to say. And I think those are the big three for pain maxing. Beside like things we already mentioned before, like approach therapy, like what is it called, exposure therapy, like making sure you're not scared, not just scared of. I guess for that, I guess back to pain maxing, not don't approach it from a fear, but approach it I'm gonna allow myself to get embarrassed many times in order to become a stronger person. So it's really pushing yourself out there, putting yourself in tough situations um, for the sake of being a better, stronger person. Besides that, I think besides that, just allowing yourself, really identifying areas of pain, identifying all areas of pain in your life, and how you can elongate or increase the pain. Because most people try to do is try to limit the pain or decrease the pain, relieve the pain. And like, I'm not a doctor, so some of the stuff I want to say, I can't really say because I don't want to get people in trouble, get myself in trouble. But which is a lot of, there's so many things you can explore in terms of pain maxing to really make yourself stronger. And the end results of all this is you'll be a lot stronger as a person. Um, I think you're gonna get a lot more attention from women. I think that's definitely the case because a lot of guys sort of avoid pain or don't know all the aspects to chase in terms of pain. And it's really going to help in terms of attraction with women. And I mean, it's pretty simple. It's just sort of the implementation and identifying and having it, really ingraining it as part of your lifestyle. And of course, I think once you, not of course, it might not be that obvious, but once you reach a point of diminishing returns, I think it's definitely an okay time to move away from Painmaxxing. I think don't try not to use it as a form of idolatry. Don't let it get too far. Don't try to hurt others because of Painmaxxing. But I think it's okay to make mistakes on this journey. At the end of the day, it's something that makes you stronger, and famous quote from Spider-Man, with a great power that you now have, you now have a great responsibility. And you can really do a lot with this power. I could go a lot more onto that, but for um, taking us taking it back to what I said earlier about human gender dynamics, I think this is really just gonna help you be more respected as a man. It's one of the key vectors, and yeah, I think it covered just about everything for Painmaxxing. Can't really think of anything else. I would say just practical advice to sum it all up. Heartbreak. Heartbreak is definitely the best one. I think some guys can get crippled by one heartbreak and then that's it. Some people give it a couple and call it quits, but I think once you get your heart broken like 15, maybe 10, 15 times, um, you should be like you're so good at a real workout that you should be pretty strong after that. You should definitely walk a little differently after that. And number two is probably accepting tragedy, just allowing yourself to be embarrassed, putting yourself in an embarrassing situation if you need to. If you need to maybe like spread the gospel, if you need to talk to a girl that's maybe it's not the most ideal situation. Just really embracing life, embracing all the bad people in life and the sort of cowards in life that sort of allow bad things to happen. And these two at the top, is really welcoming them in your life. It's going to make you a lot stronger as a man, and we're all going to help your attraction. And that's about it for Painmaxxing. I think that's all that it. If you enjoyed it, definitely if you enjoyed it, definitely ask yourself. Definitely show appreciation to just the great man upstairs that set this all in motion, just set the principles for all this down. I think this is more evidence to a divine creator. Definitely don't think evolution can come up with. It's almost impossible for evolution to come up with something this complex. And I guess that's my a big ask of that. Thank thank our creator, or show some appreciation if it really helped. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed.